We are a little less than 3 weeks away from Syracuse spring practice. We bring in John Casillo from Noon's Magician to talk the orange on the football field and some off-season news as we head toward getting the boys back in camp and trying to get back to postseason play here in 2017. So the first order of business, John, is, of course, a much heralded running back in college, much heralded running back in high school in the Syracuse area. Mike Hart has moved on after one season as the running backs coach to go to Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of surprise news today. Babers brought over a lot of the guys that he had on his staff over at Bowling Green. Hart was one of the few additions from outside the staff, along with Vincent Reynolds. The two of them came over from Western Michigan going into 2016. And we also brought in Reno Ferry from Towson, some recruits in the DMV area. Only because, in the dreaded dream job that he mentioned when he came in, he said he was definitely looking forward to the call, heading back to the Syracuse area where he grew up. And we kind of swung and missed on him when he headed to Michigan. As a player, obviously, Syracuse football wasn't nearly at the same stature as Michigan at that point in time. But yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, I felt like he really did help us out a lot in terms of selling running backs on the system, selling running backs on him. It did seem like we had some momentum there. This isn't an uncommon time for assistants to leave. So, yeah, I mean, we wish him the best of luck at Indiana. Obviously, you always wish it was a little more of an upward move versus a lateral one when it comes to program stature. But nevertheless, Big Ten programs have a lot of money right now. Can't blame them for heading over there.
John, you're being very diplomatic because, as you mentioned, here's a local high school football hero who leaves, and that happens all the time. He chose to go to the University of Michigan, which, as you mentioned, this is about 10 years ago, playing much better football at that point than Syracuse. He has an illustrious career at Michigan in which he plays 4 full seasons before a brief stint in the NFL for about 3 campaigns, had some injury issues and wasn't able to stick around. I believe he played most of his time with the Indianapolis Colts off the top of my head. But then he comes back because he's from the area, and he does make those comments about coming back to a program that he rooted for as a youngster, and he doesn't get wooed away by Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, whatever. It's Indiana. It's a parallel move. We don't know what the pay circumstance is. You did allude to that, so we can conjecture that he's in a better financial place, and most of us as professionals usually move on when the pay is better. So we can't fault him for that, but it is a little bit disappointing. I'm glad that you also gave context to the running game improvement, regardless of the numbers, 115th in the nation in rushing, but that's just one season, and you were obviously happy with what he brought. As a guy that hasn't been off the field that long, could probably relate to the younger player.
Oh, absolutely. I think that was something that he was starting to sell guys on for this coming year. I know we brought in another 2 players for 2017's class, and both of them did mention Hart off the top of their heads as like a guy that, yeah, they could definitely relate to. I mean, he's around this, he's not too far away age range. He's somebody who I'd say lived at least in the current recruiting environment as a player. He's someone who can quickly kind of grasp onto the things that interest them. So yeah, it's a bummer to lose him. I think we'll see probably in the coming weeks how Dino Babers kind of fills that spot. Hopefully, it's someone that fills a similar gap in terms of expertise on the staff, and in terms of maybe some playing experience as well, which I think was helpful for him.